Multiple offers are back. Does this mean the market crash is canceled and we're headed for a seller's market? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, my name is Morgan Little. I'm a realtor and real estate investor based in Toronto who makes videos like this one to try to make sense of this crazy world of real estate. If at any time you have any questions whatsoever, or you just want to pick my brain, feel free to book a call by clicking the Calendly link in the description below, and I look forward to chatting. All right. Let's talk about your February stats. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to the Abbot of Parkdale for my coffee this afternoon. Yes, you did hear it right. Multiple offer situations are back. But a better question to ask might be, is this just a blip or is consumer confidence back? That one we'll have to wait and see what happens as we move into the spring market. I will say this. Yes, we are seeing multiple offers happen again. A segment of these are deliberately being underpriced in order to draw multiple offers in hopes of getting obviously over the asking price and to achieve a certain number that the seller has in mind. Because though we are seeing this, we're also seeing offer dates pass, and yes, they're receiving multiple offers, but they may not be getting the number they were hoping for, and then they end up relisting at the desired asking price. This is never really a great look for a seller, but it's what's happening quite a bit recently. This place is the perfect example. It was originally listed for $999 classic offer price amount with an offer date, received 11 offers, none of which they accepted, and then they relisted at $1,325,000 and then sold for just under at $1.3 million. All that being said, with still low inventory, which I've said many times is one of our biggest issues, there's still room for some properties to hold offer dates and get that action they're hoping for, but it's not working for everyone. It does show though that buyers seem to be getting more confident again, and people are getting 1 to 3 year fixed term rate mortgages, obviously with the plan to refinance if and when rates start to come down. This is something I've been suggesting to people for a while now because I still hear a lot of buyers saying, well, I'm waiting for rates to come down, which I reply, when rates come down, prices will likely go up. They are like levers. And then I hear a lot of people also saying, I'm waiting for rates and prices to come down. But unfortunately, those two things are not going to both happen. So on to your Toronto real estate stats for February 2023. Starting with the overall stats for the Greater Toronto Area, the total transactions in February 2023 were 4,783, which is down 47% since February 2022's 9,028 sales. The total new listings in February were 8,367, down also 40.9% from last year. Days on market, not surprising, they're up 200% at an average of 33 days. And the average selling price is down 17.9% in February 2023 to $1,095,617. But the benchmark price, which represents an estimate of how much a certain type of home is worth, is actually up 1.1%. or $12,400 from January of this year to $1,091,300. That is the first increase since rates began to rise in March 2022. So definitely noteworthy. The Toronto Real Estate Board in their 2023 Market Outlook report did predict that the first half of the year would be similar to the end of 2022, but that they did expect to see more action in the second half of the year. Maybe this is starting to happen a little bit earlier. We do have an interest rate announcement coming March 8th, and after the last increase of 25 basis points, the Bank of Canada indicated that they may put a pause on the increases, at least in the interim. However, there has been talk recently of them being somewhat obligated to increase rates in line with the US, whose inflation is still running hot. We will have to wait and see what happens, and then we'll have to wait for the impact that it's going to have on our market moving forward. Okay, on with the show. Let's talk about detached homes in the city of Toronto. So this is not including the surrounding areas. They have an average price of $1,712,364, which is up quite a bit from just under $1.5 million in January of this year, at 100% sale to list price ratio, which means that houses are essentially selling at 100% of the price they were listed at. In Mississauga, the average detached home was priced at $1,543,866, and in Vaughan, we're looking at $1,905,076. I mentioned these two areas as comparison, and because I do help a lot of people in these three areas, Toronto, Mississauga, and Vaughan. So let's talk about the condo market for a minute. The average price of a condo in Toronto proper was $827,395 in February, which is actually ever so slightly down from January, but with a sale to list price ratio of 103%, which means that multiple offers seem to be working for some condo owners. In Mississauga, the average condo price sat at $803,277, which is up a little bit from $797,702 in January, just a little bit. And in Vaughan, we had an average condo price of $978,258. Now, we could go into semis and townhomes and other asset classes because each has their own nuances, and you know what, we could probably show that semi-detached homes are maybe the hottest type of home in the city of Toronto right now, but I think you're starting to see the picture of where things are going. At least as of now, it appears we may have hit the quote-unquote bottom of the market, and it may slowly start to recover. Again, this is a month-over-month change, and I always preach to look at the long term, and we'll have to see if this trend is going to continue, but it is interesting. Something I would like to mention though is that I attended a talk put on by Clear Trust Mortgages recently, and they had a speaker from Sagen, which is a mortgage insurance company, and their prediction was that by late 2023, early 2024, we would again be in a seller's market. And that's simply based on the lack of supply mixed with the massive population growth that we're experiencing and will be experiencing in the future. We often hear a lot of predictions and mixed reviews and doomsday headlines from all kinds of sources, but I thought that this was noteworthy because they obviously put a lot of research behind their prediction. If you'd like to have a chat about your situation, or you have any questions about any listings that you see on the Toronto Property Finder website, feel free to book a call. Like I said, the link's in the description below, and I look forward to chatting. Until then, stay well and stay hungry.